This model from WSI comes in a very attractive box, and if we turn it over we see it's commissioned by the Italian dealer Gift Models, and it's a WSI product with a genuine Daimler licensing hologram. Both the box and the model are in the colours of the Italian haulage company CRAM. The first thing we see when we get the model out is a small bag containing a card, but the rest of the packaging is pure WSI. It's factory sealed with the model held between plastic formers. Out comes the big Mercedes-Benz Actros MP3 tractor, and that's followed by a module bridge section and a gooseneck. There are two 6-axle modules included, and there are bags containing quite a lot of small parts, although there are no instructions with this model. Before assembling the model, let's take a closer look at the card in the bag. And as we open it up, we realise it's actually a small body bag. And that's because inside there's a small body and it's a figure of a man wearing a CRAM uniform. And it's a nice inclusion with the model. The card is a collector card and it gives a unique serial number, as only 150 have been made. We start the assembly on the big MP3 Actros by fitting a cover to the front towing hitch, and you can then fix that in place by adding in a small steel pin. We can then quickly run to the back, and on the rear towing hitch you can fit a funnel and a pin. Onto the trailer and we'll fit the first of the modules to the gooseneck, and the connection system is the standard one that WSI use on these models. Once you've made the join, there's a sliding steel pin which locks them into place. It's very good and you certainly get a strong connection. You can see it's strong because the gooseneck is held up even when it's not connected to a tractor. Next, there's a bit of detailing to add to the rear of the trailer, and there are a couple of clip-on lights and signs which fit on the back. They are a little bit fiddly but they work well enough. And that brings us to the two halves of the trailer, including the bridge section which has already been fitted. Once these two pieces are joined up, you then have the full-length trailer. After that, we just need to attach the Actros MP3, and the kingpin on the gooseneck clips into the fifth wheel in the normal way. That's the basic assembly, but there's some more detail to add. The first thing to add is the metal cover plates which cover the steering linkages, and there's enough of those to cover the whole trailer. And then there are a couple of warning boards which can be fitted onto the gooseneck. There's also another sign included with the model, but it's not clear where that goes. So I've decided to wear it on my nose, but only when I go shopping, as I wouldn't want to look silly. The underside of the Actros is very detailed, with only the round hollow part looking a little bit odd. The Actros cab looks very good because the detailing and the graphics look very sharp. There's a realistic number plate, and a very nice detail is the Mercedes-Benz name embossed in the casting. Behind the cab, the equipment tower has plastic parts, but it is detailed. And moving on to the Shoyola modules, these are very well made parts, mostly in metal. The gooseneck is a very interesting part with spare wheels, toolboxes and plenty of hoses. There's a yellow edge stripe on the side of the modules, and one of the few plastic parts is the side bars on the bridge section. The CRAM man is a very nicely painted part, and the surprise is that he's metal, not plastic. He's a real Iron Man. Out we go onto the Cranes etc. test track, and the Actros is a smooth roller. If we give it a hand up, we see that the rear wheels are fixed to common axles and spin freely. And moving to the front, there is link steering on the front two axles. But as is often the case, the range of movement is not huge. But as we always like to say, something is better than nothing. One thing that does usually work well though is the tilting cab. Once again, there's a detailed engine to be seen, and then with a flick of the wrists we have an auto shut. WSI's modules are highly engineered parts, so they roll very well, and a particularly nice aspect is the fully sprung suspension on every wheel set. There is also fully linked steering on the modules, and it's proportional in nature, so the rear axles turn more than the inner axles. If we set the steering, then nice smooth turning is possible. As always with these modules, it's nice to have a close look and see how the intricate engineering actually works. And there are plenty of spare steering rods supplied if you wanted to configure the steering in a different way. Also included with the model are a couple of support stands for the gooseneck. They slot into place and they provide support for the gooseneck when the tractor is detached. The model also includes a drawbar which you can link to the steering by adding a steering rod and screwing it into place. But be warned, it's fiddly and tricky with normal sized fingers. But once you've installed it, moving the drawbar moves the steering. The drawbar is engineered well and it will fit into the towing hitch on the tractor, although you might need to put some loads on to get all of the wheels fully grounded. Let's get the tape measure out and see how long the fully configured truck is. And it's about 25 inches or 64 centimetres. Let's now find something unusual for our big heavy haulage truck. And how about this? It's a heritage machine, an old Bucyrus steam shovel. So it's an example of old meets new, and you'll only see that on Cranes etc. This is a very good looking heavy haulage model from WSI. As you would expect, both the detailing and the features are very good, and Gift Models has made sure it's really well presented with its collector card and the addition of a man in CRAM colours. It all adds up to a model which overall is outstanding.